So won't you tell me, babe, are you happy now? You're the only one who can up and run, leave me just as empty as the day you came. You hold all the cards, all the broken hearts strung over your shoulder till it's all in vain.
It's been a long 16 weeks, end of in season. Obviously we laid out your goals at the start of the process. How's it all gone?
It's gone really well. For me it was a big education piece. As you guys know, I'd been mostly in the kind of CrossFit world and eating for CrossFit and obviously doing my training geared towards that. So big shift. Over 16 weeks it was interesting, big change in my programming. No high intensity exercise, which was a big one. I felt that the programming, Brian Borstein does all my programming, he's been awesome across the last 16 weeks. Obviously very geared towards bodybuilding. It's been great, I've saw a lot of strength improvements, body composition changes. A little bit hard mindset wise because I do like that high intensity every so often, so he was great. He put in some CrossFit 1 day a week, but I quickly realised that I needed to do a little bit more, so I implemented 2 track days a week on Thursday mornings and on Sundays, and then I had to get my knee up, so even though I move a lot in here, I coach at the CrossFit gym and obviously work out before I do that, I had to start implementing some afternoon walks, which again was a little bit funny just because we're so used to the high intensity part of it. So just going out for a walk seemed a little bit crazy, but so definitely from a training standpoint, very different from what I was used to. Nutrition wise, Amanda Borelli, who's one of our IN3 coaches, she did my nutrition the entire time, and we tried a little bit of everything just to see how my body would respond. So we did the whole high carb, low protein, low fat, we did an insulin reset, which was very low carb. That wasn't so great. I think we all like.
How did your body respond to the insulin reset?
So I got a glucometer and started testing my blood glucose in the morning, and initially it was really high, and then once we changed the diet I started waking up and my numbers were getting lower and lower, so definitely saw a lot of progress with that. I wouldn't say I saw a whole lot of body composition changes through that time. It really wasn't until I felt as if Amanda gave me a cycle of medium low days. I would do that for 6 days and then she'd put me on 2 high days that I really started to see some changes. But what's crazy is maybe I'm 2 pounds lighter, so when you guys see the before and after pictures, you hopefully will see a bit of a difference, but so many of us focus on the scale and we're so consumed by that number, just wanting it to go down if our goal is weight loss, where really throughout this whole 16 weeks, maybe 2 pounds. So for me it was definitely an education thing. I have no intentions of stepping on a stage and competing, but just having more clients now come to me asking and telling me that their goal is aesthetics. What a better way for me to know how that works than to be a guinea pig and go through it myself.
Yeah. So we have a lot of clients that work with different coaches through IN3, and they're going to go on similar journeys to you. They all have their goals, and obviously throughout that journey it's kind of hard to stay motivated and disciplined at times. What were some of the things that you kind of kept doing, that you could recommend to other people that just kind of kept you online with your goals?
Yeah. So there's going to be ups and downs, it's going to come with it, especially during the summertime. One of the biggest struggles I probably had was vacations. I was in Scotland for 2 weeks, I was at the beach with friends for about 5 days. I was down to visit my in-laws in Charleston, staying at somebody else's house where you're limited to what they eat. So my approach to that was, and we kind of spoke about it in one of our other videos, was to just have balance. So what I would find is when I was home and I had 100% control over my food and training, I really dialed it in. So I made sure I got all my training days in, I made sure that I hit my macros really well, limited my alcohol intake, so that when I did have these weekends or vacations away, it allowed me a little bit more flexibility. Ideally when you're going through a process like this, you want to be dialed in, and training 100% of the time, but realistically that's not going to happen. There's going to be, barbecues and vacations and weekends away. Yeah, life stuff. So you got to be able to, how do I manage that and still find success? So that was hard. For me, I love working out, so getting up every morning, getting in here at 7 o'clock. Brian's programming was awesome, so from a motivation standpoint from working out, that wasn't too difficult for me. It was probably more the nutrition part of it. So yes, I've been with IN3 now for a year. When I first met Jason, actually here at Old Glory, I was just newly certified and still really learning. So through a lot of the courses that we run at IN3, you know, we've got the level 1, we've got the hormone, we've got the mindset, as well as more that are coming. And obviously my experience in education prior to that. This past year's been awesome. I mean, just getting to work with clients that have different goals. You know, just growing my own experience, listening to podcasts, doing other certifications. But probably the biggest part of it is just working with clients. You know, you learn so much because everybody's different. You know, what I might try for a CrossFitter over here might not work for the exact same person doing CrossFit, but maybe they're male, female, and their needs are going to be different. So a lot of it just comes from trial and error. There's definitely, you know, main points that you want to hit, but I think you have to be able to adapt and be flexible and realize that people are going to have different hormone profiles, people are going to have different diet histories, different ages, different training modalities. So how do you adjust your programming and prescription and nutrition for all these different people? Hi guys, I'm Alison Cooper, IN3 coach. Thank you so much for joining me on my journey, and I'm all in.